I know there are times in my life where I've done things, and I still do this to this day, that are scary. Um, I have, and even now, there's a couple of ventures that I'm about to go into, and I'm like, this is the most scariest. I feel unprepared. I just did a recent episode on our YouTube channel about what to do when you feel unprepared, and that the best thing you can do when you're unprepared is still show up anyway.
Mm.
Um, because there's a confidence that builds when you still show up in spite of how you feel, right?
Mhm.
And so, I've been afraid, and I typically have learned to get comfortable in the uncomfortable and keeping myself there. Um, what has Julia done or doing right now that scares her?
Ooh, what am I doing right now that scares me? I mean, I'm raising 2 little girls that look up to me every single day
What's their
and look
name?
to me, Milana and Alora.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, you know, they're I'm their everything. I'm all that they know, and this will get me so emotional because, you know, my job is not to build a legacy business to pass on to them and they become some trust fund baby. My job and my goal is to help them create something amazing out of nothing without having to have resources, because it's not a lack of resources ever, it's a lack of resourcefulness. If I can teach them to be resourceful, if I can teach them, how to do their taxes or play the game, if I can teach them how to communicate, and if I can teach them how to craft and cultivate amazing relationships, and if I can teach them to constantly live unapologetically of who they are meant to be and made to be, and just love themselves and not need anyone else to tell that, to love them in order to be happy, then I've done a great job, you know? So that's what it's about. I mean, man, when you have kids, it changes you.
Yeah.
So everything that I learn is now for them because
Hmm.
if I have to become the best version of me to pass on tools and talents and just the best ways to live, it's it's such a big heavy responsibility.
Yeah.
And I think right now more than ever, with everything going on in the world, our children are the future of humanity, and so if we can pour into ourselves as parents and become the best version of us and even become 1% better every single day, and allow them to live in other communities that they can be around other good kids with good morals and values, that's what we need to do. I created this life so I can travel the world with people that I would trust my own children around.
Mm.
With other, for me, it's important that we're around other faith-based couples. I'm not here to impose my beliefs upon anyone, but that's something that holds true to us. It's what we built our entire business around.
Yeah.
And I don't care what anyone thinks. I've made a lot of money not caring about what the heck other people think. And I'm
Yeah.
not changing. I'm just me. I'm who I am. And I want the best for my children, period. And I will run through a brick wall to do whatever it takes to afford them the life that I wasn't afforded.
I can tell how much of a driver that is for you when I ask that question.
Hmm.
How old are your girls today?
7 months old and 2.5.
Wow. So 15 years from now, they'll be 17 and 15.
Oh my gosh, it's so weird to think.
Let's do this. Um, if they were to watch this interview in their teenage years, if they were to watch mom talk about these things, if they were to watch mom's story, right? Share with them right now what you want them to know so that one day when they do see this interview, we can go, hey ladies, your mother wanted you to know this.
Oh my gosh,
What would that
you're gonna
message
make
be?
I don't know if I can do that. You're gonna have to ask me again because you're gonna have to ask me. You're gonna have to ask me again.
No problem.
You're gonna have to ask me again.
What would the message be that you would share with those young women at that time that you would want them to know? What
Gosh, there's
what do you want them to know about mom? What do you want them to understand about the life that they are living as a result of? What's the message you want them to know as young women when they look
I hate
back
you
at
and
this
love you
interview?
for this at the same time. I mean, honestly, gosh, there's so many things. It would be a series, it would be a book, it would be a movie, but I would just tell them to just be true to who they are. That despite my circumstances, I didn't allow that to break me. I didn't allow that to keep me where I didn't belong. I didn't allow my circumstances and my challenges to hinder me from having success and being happy. And I would just let them know that I did everything and I'm constantly doing everything that I can to help to provide them a better life and a better way and to I ca- it's this is like this is so emotional. I can't believe you're asking me this question right now. But that they can do anything that they want. But to protect their energy, to be careful of who they surround themselves with, to make sure that if your circle doesn't inspire you, you don't have a circle, you have a cage, and you need to constantly be seeking out better people and making sure that you're around people with the right morals and the right values that and people that will encourage you and uplift you and run with you and find mentorship in all areas of your life, whether it's in business or your marriage or your finances. The most successful people in the world have mentors there. There's nothing, doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It means you're on the right path and you're smart to be investing in you. No matter what, the best investment that you'll never regret is investing in you, no matter what that looks like. And so I think that's something that you'll just never regret. So anyway, Chris, that was a good question. I was not expecting that.
Well, along those lines, because I'm a big family person. You don't know this, but 2019, I remember looking at when my wife and I got married. I looked back at a picture of our wedding date, and I just remember going, "That suit is really tight," and it wasn't because it was nice; it's because your boy was fat. Okay, and I made a vow to myself personally, as a man. I said I will become irresistible to my wife.
Mm,
That's my goal.
I love that.
Spiritually, we have that down. We are just like your home. I every morning before I go to bed. I mean, I'm that guy. I'm the cheesy guy that everybody talks about because I just believe that God gave us a version that we are a way we're supposed to be living, and I refuse to live it subpar. That's just me. Um, what has been the impact of your husband, not only on your girls, but on you being who you've become so far? And
The
what's
impact
that
of
been
my
like?
husband, like how is he re-ask that in a way that
Yeah,
maybe I can.
what's been his contribution that has made it so that Julia can be this Julia and that the girls can be who they are? What is it that you appreciate about his his version of who he is as a man and who he's grown to be?
He's got the mindset of just I don't even know. Like he's like the encouragement, if I'm like having a bad day or self-doubt and negative beliefs and all the things that we can self-sabotage. No one's perfect, it doesn't matter. I think we're for every level there's another devil, or another angel. And so he's that encourager that's like, he'll snap me out of things, he'll put things into perspective. But he's an amazing provider. He's investor, and he's the epitome of a network is your net worth. He's constantly pouring into himself and constantly expanding his network and constantly providing value for other people. And when I need something, he's there. And I think, going back to your question of what I would tell my little girls, 15 years from now, is who you marry is not only like one of the most important decisions, but I would really say that it's the most important decision you can ever make in your life, because that's your ride or die. That's your best friend. That's who's going to pick you up or tear you down. Like, you have to make sure that that person, is the right one. And so, even though I would say, don't get married in 4 months, like me, God, I prayed about it. God's never late. But he's an amazing man. He really
Yeah,
is.
absolutely. Thank you so much for checking out this clip. Stay tuned so that you can make sure that you grab the full episode when it is released, coming soon. Subscribe, like, and share today.